I don't understand what just happened. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not a clue, and stream might crash again. My computer just shut down. Can you see me now? The new Alien movie. Ew. Hi, Tub Tub. No clue what just happened. My computer literally just turned off and refreshed. Well, it just randomly restarted. I restarted it earlier today, so I don't know why it felt the need to do that. Anyway, let me put this tarot cards in the tarot card drawer. Oh, I guess I should put the turkeys in the fall drawer, huh? Hi. Lasana already knows that if I need another mod, she's next. I'm frustrated. I have no idea why it crashed. Like, literally, Lasana, my computer just restarted randomly. And I'm gonna be honest, it did not need a refresh. I refreshed it before stream. I restarted it in hopes of fixing Twitch. Yep. It wasn't my streaming, it wasn't Twitch, I don't think. Like, it literally just turned off. So, I don't know if it's gonna happen again. If it happens again, I'm just gonna end stream. I'm getting tired and cranky anyway. But I want to cut these down and put them in the drawer before ending stream. That's my goal. I am having to start a second sticker drawer because I have so many goddamn stickers. That's exciting. Computers just thought everything was going too well. Can't be having that. Computer was like, I don't know, really. I don't know. You want me to hydrate? Hydrate or dihydrate, am I right? Okay, so this had ice in it that melted. So it's basically just flavored water. So that's hydrating. Is that not how that works? I was under the impression that's how it works. Pretty sure I've heard that before. Have you not been on Water Talk? For those of you who haven't heard me rant about Water Talk before, I am pro Water Talk, and I will not hear slander towards these people making themselves flavored water. So no, do you know what Water Talk is? Would you like to know about Water Talk? It was one of my micro interests for a minute. So Water Talk was this TikTok trend. I'm sure it's still going on, but it's not as big. On Instagram Reels. Ugh. Reels? Anyway. What they would do is they would show what their water was for the day. And so they would like add like those flavorings or, you know, like sparkling water or like flavored syrup, like all this. And generally they added a lot. And people were like, that's not water. Like at that point, you're not drinking water. And they were making fun of them and they were talking about how these people were stupid. It reminded me a lot of our conversations about how I argue that diet soda is basically just flavored sparkling water. But I'm also of the opinion that, like, if it's getting people to drink water more, then why are we mad? Like, why are we mad? Literally any liquid helps hydrate you. Like, it all counts towards that, you know, stereotype generic 8 glasses a day. All of it contributes. So if they want to call that water, why do you care so much? I see comments sometimes, just in general on TikTok, like, oh my god, those videos make me so mad. Then don't watch them. Literally water with sugar-free mojito syrup. I love that for you. They're literally starting off with a giant bottle of water. And then adding a bunch of flavorings. Like, a majority of the liquid they're drinking is water. And you know what? The people probably getting pissy about it probably don't even drink enough water in a day anyway. And it's ironic to say this, but like, if you don't like what someone's doing on the internet, then just don't pay attention to them. You don't like Water Talk, don't watch Water Talk. Seems very simple to me. I don't know why people would be, you know, and like maybe it's a thing of like, oh, really, they want to get mad. So I know one of you said that before. Like, but why? Why would you want to be mad? Is the world not already infuriating enough? You need to be mad about someone else's water habits? Like, fine, be mad. Be snarky. I'm snarky. I love the snark. I love to snark. But I like to think that it's directed better. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is one more of my hypocrisies. Very much let people live camp. Yeah, and it's ironic to be like, ugh, I hate that you're doing this on the internet, but I will say there are some videos that made me laugh. There was this one girl, she posted it. She was talking about how much she hates the phrase, it takes more energy to be mean than it is to be nice. And she was like, no, it doesn't. It takes the same amount of energy. If anything, it's easier to be mean and be judgy. And that did make me chuckle. Yeah, let people live. If they're not hurting anybody, what's the problem? Being judgy, but I'm not judgy about clothes. I'm not really judgy about food habits. I am judgy of those, and I know it's some sort of like fetish videos, but the people who waste food in those like fake cooking, and I know it's fetish content. I hate those. I'm judgy of those, and I'm judgy of people who get off on those. I'm judgy of you. How people conduct themselves. Ooh, that's a good way to sum it up. Yeah. Yeah, because my next example was I'm judgy of streamers who are kind of like keyboard warriors and how they're hypocritical of what they demand of everyone else. But like, yeah, it's literally how they conduct themselves. I'm judgy of how people raise their kids. That's a big one. And that one just gets worse the older I get. I'm not judgy about customer service. Like, if they're cranky, most of the time I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, been there. I'm judgy about people who are judgy about other people's taste in music. And I'm kind of judgy of people who just don't read ever. And it's one thing to be like, I don't read. And it's another thing to be like, yeah, no, I don't read. Why would I? No, I spend my time to, like, when they're judgy about reading. How people behave themselves towards others. Yeah. Yeah. When people aren't aware of their personal space and like the people around them, real judgy then. Nassim and I bitch about those people a lot. A lot. Because a lot of the time we hang out, we're shopping. So you come across those people more than not. Look how full the sticker drawer got. So now we have a second one. Oh, and these weren't meant to go in a sticker. And as I keep finding more and more random drawers or boxes of craft supplies, these just fill more and more. Good to have friends to be judgy with. And most of the time, to be honest, because Nasim and I are also fashion girlies, May used to be a personal stylist. So we're all kind of like fashion girlies, but it's really cute because we all have different tastes. And so we'll hang out and we're all dressed completely different, but giving the same energy, you know? Oh, but I was saying, so sometimes when we see like outfits or an item of clothing and we don't like it, it's never about the person and like why did they choose that. It would be more of like how I would style it instead, or like what I would add or what I would get rid of or what I would supply it with. But towards our own personal taste, it's always in the like realm of if I was wearing that. It's never, wow, they should be doing this. You know what I mean? It's more of an analysis, I like to think. Actually, that's one of the things I always think about every time I watch Mean Girls. There's the scene where Regina pulls aside a girl and she's like, oh my god, I love your skirt. And she's like, oh my god, thank you. It's my mom's. And Regina's like, oh, vintage. And then as soon as the girl walks away, she turns to Lindsay Lohan and was like, I hate that fucking skirt, or like that fucking skirt is so ugly. And it's framed to make Regina look bad. But at the end of the day, she complimented the girl. The girl felt good about herself. And it's not like Regina took that any farther. She just talked to her friend and she was like, I actually hate that. If anything, it's one of the one times that, in my opinion, I mean, it's not necessarily nice, but she's not a mean girl. And I always found that part interesting. It shows you not to trust what she says. Okay. That's the point of it. The way I've watched Mean Girls so many times and never considered that as the point. Every time I'm like, well, I don't know. She made the girl feel good. Yeah, the girl in the skirt, she was living the rest of the day. You know, she told all her friends that Regina complimented her skirt. Like, this is the most popular girl in the entire school. And if Regina had gone ahead and like made fun of her in like the lunchroom to everybody, like, I can't believe you thought I actually liked that skirt. Then I would be more mad at her. Then I would be like, ew, major ick. But instead it's just kind of like, minor ick. Medium ick. But now that you mentioned the trust thing, that's a really good point I didn't consider. This is why I love streaming. Oh my god, there's such a random stuff over here that I didn't see. Ugh! Okay, some of this I can actually organize right now, so let's. Okay, don't need that, but I kept it because of the color, but I don't need it. I don't need it. These I kept. This is for my tiny house phase. I thought it'd be cute if we built them on stream. I keep forgetting to actually do that. Okay, this is a used piece of paper. Just get rid of it. Okay. This is all. Regina's doing it for her own reason. She's lying to people so they will like her, maintaining her status as a popular one. But does intention matter if the recipient is happy? Like, yeah, it's manipulative. I don't disagree. On Christmas things. Oh, these were Christmas cards given to me. I don't remember where that box is. I think it's here. Like, the intention of what she's doing is manipulative. But in that moment, the girl's happy and it never comes back up again. Don't tell me with these fucking stream streaks. I know you're lying. 10-day stream streak. You miss streams sometimes. I also wonder, Lisana, because my streams crash so often, if you leave during the first bit and then the second bit when I go back on, you're not there, then it would reset your counter. Like, think about how many times my stream was crashing last month. What is this? These are random photos. I don't know what this box is. This is a for later box. Rayleigh's for later box. I will say that came up in The Good Place, where Chidi complimented or like lied to his friend about the red cowboy boots being cool, and then his friend bought him the red cowboy boots. But I do feel like there were ways you could have gotten away with not wearing the cowboy boots or not wearing them and be like, oh my gosh, this means a lot, but they're really not my style. But like, that was a consequence of lying about it. Different intentions though. Chidi was doing it because he didn't want to make the friend upset. That's such a good show. Most of this is things to go to the bathroom. Still hadn't put that away. That is an envelope that is labeled 0. This is a random notebook. This is a light up rainbow that I don't know, don't have plugged in. I think it was like too bright for my eyes, but too bright for the... Oh, it can be battery powered. I didn't know that. Good Place is your favorite show? It's a really good one. Oh my god. My mom's boyfriend was so annoying about it. He was like, yeah, I predicted the twist in the first season. I was like, I don't care. Good for you. I wasn't prepared for it. I mean, I didn't do a giant gasp, but I wasn't prepared. Especially because they said, they were like, I should have known because of the frozen yogurt. I was like, I love frozen yogurt. How is that a sign that this is not The Good Place? I worked at a frozen yogurt shop. I'm going through this notebook to see if there's pages empty. I think I was using it as a stream notebook because there's a bunch of things about video games in here. Some of these I have no idea what it is. Oh, this one's from when we played Myst, the Myst franchise, which we never finished. This is a list of community lot builds for The Sims. I'm gonna keep that. Here we go, we're playing Riven. These are really bad drawings of animals that Brie did at some point. Oh my god. And this is her keeping track of how many books I have when we were building my bookcase. At the oh my god. Thought maybe Frodo was just really popular in America. It is, and it was at the time that that was filmed, too. It's a random diary entry. Here's a big chunk of blank pages. Okay, this page fell out. That away. Okay, I'll use this as my stream notebook until we finish it. I love the size of these notebooks, but I could never use this as my journal. But it would be so much more convenient because I could carry it around with me. I always go back and forth when I need to buy a new one. I'm like, what size I should get. But then also, all of mine are this, so they would match. This is not the same. I read a play in high school. What if I just rip out the pages of the small one and put them in the big one and do journal entries? Then, no, that seems like too much work. Just kidding, I'm not doing that. I was more, when it happened, I was more confused on what the hell they were going to do for season 2. I was like, oh, okay. So this changes what we see, but like, now what? How are they going to get another season out of this? Oh my god, speaking of plays that you read in high school, there was this one play that we had to do as like, I don't know, a midterm thing in my drama class. And it sorry, I'm trying to think of how to connect these. It was about trying to open a clam. And then at some point it turns into this like fight, and they're like talking about yawning, and then they're like making each other yawn back and forth, and then the clam opens because they made the clam yawn. I think about that play probably once a month. And it's making me yawn. So funny. Probably one of the like few appropriate things that we did in a drama class of any of my drama classes. I don't know if I ever told this story before, but when I was still at Bellevue College, in my like level 200 drama class, we did a scene from this play that I'd already known about. Of course, I don't remember the name or the author, and I'm gonna spoil the twist for you. But it's about this girl doing a school project with this boy, and they're sort of like getting to know each other, and it turns into, there's like all these little bits and pieces. But she's disabled, and she's like chronically ill, which is why he had to come over to her house, and you know, she's in like pajamas and everything. And some people, when they do the show, she has like an oxygen tank or whatever. Anyway, it turns out, you find out by the end, that it's actually her subconscious in the middle of a heart transplant, and it's his heart that's being transplanted. And so it's like the idea of these two entities getting to know each other and accepting each other, which is just really beautiful. And it's about these two teenagers, and it's like very much feels like they're genuine teenagers. It's also a little sad because there's definitely romantic chemistry there, but you know, he's dead. And there's no school project. I don't know if you caught on to that. But anyway, the play meant a lot to me because chronically ill, and I was ill around the time where like I had just gotten back from dying. It was 2017. I had just come back from dying. And where we had done the show before, and then the school decided they wanted to do it for the summer show, 2017, and so I had just come back. And so I didn't audition because I hadn't really considered doing summer school, or at least not doing the show. And there was some sort of drama happening with the girl who got cast. So they just, because it's only 2 actors, they had 2 sets. So like one couple, a second couple, and they would like alternate shows. And one of the girls in one of the pairing was being like really flaky and really non-communicative, and the director had a really good feeling that she was probably going to back out. And so she talked to me privately, and she was like, hey, I know you didn't audition, but I know you, and I know, you know, how you interpreted Caroline. Pretty sure her name's Caroline. Would you be my backup in case this girl falls through? Because I'm pretty sure she's gonna fall through. And I was so flattered, and I was so excited because the show meant something to me. And so she gave me a script, and I started memorizing. She never contacted me, so I just assumed Tori kept going. And I found out later that no, the girl had dropped out, and instead of casting a new person and, you know, the person she gave a script to and just told to start memorizing, instead they just used one girl, and she switched out. Guys. I think I still have the script somewhere. Yep. I feel like that's a really good way to express what it was like to be in that drama department. Like, Nassim and I reflect on it now, and we realize like how much bullshit we put up with because we were young and didn't know any better. Didn't know any different. Isn't that so fucked up? I had like made sure my summer plans would allow for it. I had warned my manager ahead of time. I wasn't working. I lied. Just kidding. I didn't have a manager at the time. But I prepared for it. I prepared for it to take up space in my life, and I was memorized. It's a very long script, and there's only 2 people. Like, I'm pretty sure it's an hour-and-a-half long show. Maybe 2. Anyway, yeah. I was really bummed by that. However, she did list me as an assistant director to the film that they were doing, because this all happened because I was acting as her assistant. The director's assistant, not assistant director. Director's assistant. She had 3, so I wasn't the primary one, but I was the one that she talked to the most because and so they were doing this film, and I couldn't get financial aid to cover the class, and so she just like let me come to class, and I just didn't get school credit for it, which was fine by me because I was on campus anyway, waiting for a different class afterwards. Anyway, so it came up during then, and Nassim and I came to see the film. It was very boring. It was I don't even remember what the show was. All I remember is there was a dead bird, like a dead canary. Anyway, and then the credits rolled, and we both like jaw dropped at like assistant director Rayleigh Hampton. I was like, and then when we went to see her at the end, like in the lobby, she was like, "Oh my God, girls, where have you been? I missed you." And by now the summer show had already happened when she flaked. Like, you want to talk about being unreliable. Woman, what? Yeah. Yeah. This woman's wife is also the woman who told me that, because I think she was mad because I didn't do, like, the character homework that I was supposed to turn in, where you answer a bunch of questions and you write a letter and your characters, whatever. That's not the kind of acting that practice that helps me connect. It's like the one where you like have to pick an animal for your character. And this is like something that they genuinely do in Hollywood. Margot Robbie talked about how she had to be an animal, I think for Barbie or some other big film she was a part of. And like that was part of her acting process, her character process with her acting director. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And they make you run around the room as your animal. Anyway, so she was upset that I wasn't like getting the homework done. And I was like, "Ma'am, I'm a full-time student and I'm an interior design student, which means I have to stay up late making models like every week. And I'm here at rehearsal. Like I just don't, and I work, like I don't have time." And she was like, "Well, you need to make time. Maybe quit your job." That was the wife of the first director I was talking about. That's why people make fun of acting. Like, look, if that helps people, that's great. If that's the process for you to feel right, by all means. And in the point, like with the class situation, it was to teach us different ways to get into character. Um, really, for me, none of them worked. All of them felt like just like goofing around playing pretend. There was one I had to do for a monologue, and we were supposed to pretend to be drunk as that character. How would that character be drunk? That was fun, but it didn't help me understand the character. It was just fun. I did do a lot of the homework for the show I was the lead in. How old were you? Probably 19, 21. It took me a while to mature, so in my head, I'm still a baby. But had you been drunk? Nope. Nope. But I did win best drunk in that. They all agreed that I had done the best. So when was that class? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was definitely 19. 18, 19. 19. Anyway, so The Witch of Blackbird Pond was a book that meant a lot to me, and I had reread so many times that the script and the fact that I got to be Kit meant a lot to me. So I did a lot of research for her, but that was more of a like emotional connection and not so much building a character. If anything, the way that I played Kit was probably wrong. Um but and like there was a lot of work I could have put into that I didn't. But when we had the guy come to um judge us, it was a judge, and he like handed out awards and certificates and nominations and shit. He loved how modern I felt, and like the tones and the inflections that I used, and even like the posture and stuff. He loved it because the whole point is that she's moved to this puritanical society, and she's been living in like the Bahamas. She was a rich girl in the Bahamas, so she was running around barefoot and wearing bright colors, and she had slaves. um and so if anything, it made Kit stick out more compared to all the other actors, because a lot of them really took the Puritan aspect to heart. They were all very solemn. It was fantastic. They did great. So he ended up loving it because it made me so different than everybody else. But like when I think about it now, when I reflect on it, I realize how little work I put into her. And I think part of that is because I had read the books so many times. And I read the script. I mean, I was the lead, so I was literally in every single scene. I think there was one 5-minute mini scene that I wasn't in, but the rest of the time I was on stage. Quick changes were really annoying. So I think I just sort of like trusted, subconsciously, I just kind of like trusted what I knew of her instead of like really putting work in and be like, oh, what would her voice sound like? What would her posture be? Like, I didn't put thought into that when I was supposed to, and I should have. And it just kind of worked out in my favor. But I loved being Kit. I loved being in that show. I miss acting. Kind of. There are a lot of people who just take it so seriously, especially stuff like that of like pretending to be an animal. And I'm like, bro, how are you not laughing at yourself right now? Like, this is so dumb. Even if it's helping us, take a minute to like look outside down at yourself and look at how silly this is. Like, how are you not able to laugh at yourself? Like, this is so stupid. I'm trying to remember what other things they made us do. Sometimes you had to give a monologue unrelated to your character, like from a completely different show, but as your character. Those ones were interesting. Sort of envisioning what the character would be like in other scenarios. If anything, that's what was helpful for me. But the bullshit of like, you know, like the questions of like, if they were in the modern day age, what would they be doing? What's their job? Like that kind of stuff. But no, pretending to be a peacock as I strut across the stage did not help me embody Kit. Every time I reach this page and I see your smiling face, I get so happy. That's Lisana. Anyway, we're gonna end stream. Shorter stream lately because I just get tired. There's nothing we can really do about it. Where is... It was like you guys, but it was also something else, I thought. These technically need to go in August. But I just feel like they match fall so much better. So I'm just gonna cheat and put them in fall. Great time, I was about to go sleep. Well, there you fucking go. With how broken Twitch is, I'm not gonna try to raid anybody again. Oh sure, now Twitch is loading. So I'm just gonna end stream, but it was lovely to see you. Thank you for hanging out. I will hopefully be back tomorrow. Probably be back tomorrow. I'm hoping we can build in The Sims again. I am hopeful for that. We'll see if that actually happens. You're welcome. Thank you for showing up. Fingers crossing. Okay. Bye-bye.